The no stranger to our show, supporter for CanFit Pro is Mo of Maureen Hagan, the Mover and Shaker Award winner, lecturer, physical therapist, mover, shaker, inspirer, just a personality to watch, such a creator of programs for women, for fitness leaders, for human sentient beings. Hello, Maureen Hagan. I tell you, healthy holidays and welcome.
Hello, Lawrence. Hi, we are here.
Hi. You are so kind, and thank you for the red background. Thank you for the red outfit. Thank you for your red hair. Oh my goodness. Where are we finding you and what time is it?
You're finding me from the Canadian London, Ontario, and it is just after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Wonderful. And this year, do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes, we do. And we're going to do
What
it
are
in
you
a,
what are you going
I
to
know
do?
you're going to ask me that question. We're going to do it in somewhat of a similar but very different way. My husband and I love to spend Christmas Day, the 25th, together. And while this year we would normally have visited family beforehand or after,
Right?
of course, we're staying home because Canada is in quite the COVID lockdown.
You
Um,
are.
but we're going to be, doing it a different way, but we're spending more quality time together and with family and friends through all the new technology that I've committed to learn this year, which has been fantastic for connecting,
Like zooming and booming?
Zooming and booming and FaceTiming and all that, all that
Yeah.
jazz.
Yeah, people think FaceTime is just for one or two people. You can FaceTime up to 30 people, although I think Zoom has sort of been the household name of sort of fitness. We use Zoom for the CanFit Pro virtual first ever convention, right?
It was the first of its kind, and I can honestly say that what we learned this year, can take forward into our future because virtual or online, everything will be part of our future in the fitness industry for sure. So yes, it was a first of the kind, a big risk, but the lesson there, as said earlier, and Trisha was saying it so brilliantly, is through fear, have faith, and then connect with the people that you know are going to lift you up, help you, and encourage you along. And then you're going to be able to try. And I tell you, there's a lot of triumph and try these days.
Brilliant sound bites. You have Fiona, you have Anne Dunlop, you have Mary Weinstein. A lot of Canadians are loving the Facebook comments are going off with your try and triumph and fear and faith. And you're so full of wisdom. I love that. And people tell me you're full of, and it's not always wisdom that they finish that sentence with. Thank you this year for changing my life. You booked me for the first time ever, as I thought I was just so shy. You booked me in a contract for 15 minutes of stand up. Do you remember that? Like, come and entertain us, Lawrence. And I thought, well, I can do sit up because who's standing on Zoom, right? And then I thought, what am I going to do? And it was my 3 a.m. in Mykonos. That was
Mhm.
historical for me. Thank you. We are having to face our fears and do different things. And the first thing I learned was at the beginning of this year by February is you can't say no, say yes, then figure it out. And then you'll either grow and never do it again or you'll tweak it like we tweak CanFit Pro. What
Mhm.
is going on? You alluded to in the gyms in Canada, like we all know. What's going on? Are the gyms open or closed? And what about masking?
Well, it seems to be a coast to coast wave. So as we are
Okay.
closing in Ontario, every week is a new city that is closing right down. That means either no group fitness, which has been closed down pretty much everywhere in the country. I think British Columbia, who will be your next guest, can speak to what's going on there. But other than the West Coast, all group fitness is shut down. All clubs are shut down in some capacity. I know here in London, we're doomed to close this week, although Eastern Canada is opening. So it really depends where you're living. But I can say that certainly group fitness has taken the biggest hit. And personal training has certainly taken a hit in itself. It's been redefined so many times. And then we have provinces, Lawrence, and I know you have dear friends in Quebec, such as Natalie Lacombe, and she is part of a industry council leadership group, the Fitness Industry Council of Canada. And Quebec has been closed in the fitness industry since October, and it's predicted to stay closed until March.
Wow,
Wow.
that's so sad, right? And so we have to continue to find inspiration.
Yeah.
And she's still streaming and beaming lots of inspiration. I was just watching her
Yeah.
in bed with Sarah Cooperman. That was so
Yeah.
inspirational, listening to them talk about wine and something called uh, deli ball. No, something from delis. Pickleball. I don't know what that is,
Oh,
but
pickleball, that's a sport, my friend. And
well,
it actually
clearly, yeah. There
it
you
hit
go.
the it hit the top 10 trends list in Canada.
Drag
I
race is my sport. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that works too. But to the mask point, we
sure.
did try the mask route. I've been teaching classes until a week ago,
In clubs.
teaching in clubs in a mask while teaching, and it's actually gives confidence to those in front of me. But I just looked at it this way: it raised my intensity levels. It helped me burn more calories, but it helped me feel better. And it's complying with the rules to allow us to keep our my business going.
Sure.
And but now that group fitness is, that was the next step. We did it in stages, and it's closing down over the holidays, and we're really looking forward to a reopening towards the end of January.
Right.
And from there, we're just going to look forward and redefine the fitness industry.
When you mention masking, before we leave that topic, are participants in group fitness, even with physical distancing, required to mask?
Not when they're in their pod, but to get into the room, into their spot, which they're signed in for, they have to wear a mask. But once they're in their space, unless they want to, they do not have to mask.
So I'm in my space and it's a square space on the floor, maybe in tape that I need to stay in. I can be doing burpees and breathing heavily, and I can take my mask off and be
Yes, although there has been a wide range of rules at Good Life Fitness where I teach, we were asked to modify all classes. So the high intensity classes were not allowed. We had to modify to classes that had less intensity
oh, I
so
would
that they're
love that. Then I could try something like pickleballs. If you're going to
pickle.
tell me that there's less intensity for the balls, oh my gosh, I'm so there. I'll try anything. It's that cardio killer combat kettlebell kickbox that scares the bejeepers out of me, right? This propensity to intensity. I just want to like a little bit of stretchy yoga, and I love your active aging classes because that's my niche, and the intensity that you teach is what I've always found to be able to do. Mo, so many people follow you and they like to know the woman behind the woman, and you always where in the world is Mo, and you did all your challenges during the whole summer, like this is day number 1, this is day number 67, this is day number 4,000.
150.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We follow you. What do you eat or do this month that lets us into your personality that you might not do as much of or at all the other 11 months?
Well, I will say that I've cleaned up my act this holiday season because of COVID. One thing my husband and I committed to was very healthy eating and a lot of physical activity. We've both gotten fitter, lost a little body fat and a little weight. But I can confess on Christmas morning, I will have chocolate for breakfast and probably throughout the
Newsflash.
day. And then, because chocolate's part of my diet every day, but it'll be for breakfast, sometimes the middle of the night if I
It's
can't
a
sleep.
plant. Chocolate is a plant. It's
I know.
vegan.
And you
Yeah.
mix it with this vine plant, the grape. It's the best combo. But I will say, I'm like Trisha, when it comes to happy hours, which we're going to do a fair amount, but on the street outdoors, I love the bubbly. I'm a champagne girl, and that is the holiday for me.
We did Prosecco toast during our virtual CamFit Pro. I was doing a lot of bubble water because I was still presenting, although you were pouring your Prosecco, and I thought, go, fight, win. Of course, you had a team of 200 behind you. So that was
Behind me.
I was on this little island making notes where I couldn't even have a ring light. The last thing I was going to do was F it up with glasses of Prosecco. But we both love, we've been even gotten involved in conversations with Patch of the additives that can go into Prosecco, like pomegranate juice and gold
Mhm.
flakes and Earl Grey tea. And I
Mhm.
know you like it sort of neat, but it's kind of nice to do some festive, open minded things. Before I let you go, Mo, can you share us any piece of wisdom that you're taking from this year as significant into next year?
Well, this piece of significant, I'm going to call Moism, is nothing foreign to my friends and fans. It's around knowing your why, but it's so much more important this year than any other year is to review, renew, and reconnect with your sole purpose. Why? you are in the fitness industry, why you are doing what you're doing. And while I say it every year, it is more important than ever because we've lost our way, because we've lost our jobs, and we haven't had the control necessarily in how we can serve our people, because that has been something told by governments, health ministers, or those that are our supervisors. But you can never have anyone tell you what you're not here to do or serve in the world. So reconnect. And I want to leave this stems from something I spoke to on one of your other fitnessWorks, and that was my journal I found on March 20th, which was the first week of the COVID lockdown. And this is my wisdom: is you want to look back and you want to be able to live the story you wish to tell, or you want to tell. And in order to look back and tell your story and feel so proud, you have to be living in your soul purpose. So do the deeper work, my friends. And that deeper work might be just reconnecting and dumping the negative that has stood in your way, because those are the things, yes, we can't control, but we can let go of, and take control and take hand of your purpose. Because you know what? When you know why, the way will appear. And if you show up every day in your authentic self, the universe, whoever, whatever, will guide you, will give you those gifts that help you forward in our new future together. And my shout out goes to each and every one of you in the fitness industry. I have been thinking of you all, and I wish you all amazing kick-ass finish to 2020. Sorry for that French.
That's
And
great.
a amazing 2021, because it is going to be a new world and we get to shape it together.
We do. How inspirational. I love the people that follow you because they're all connected to your message. And the people that don't know you, if there's anyone that's finding you from this show, Facebook, Instagram, and all the work through canfitpro.com, you're a mover and a shaker, and you are here to stay. You are here for the women's organizations, right? Didn't you just start something?
Oh, yes. Well, we started Women Who Influence 7 years ago, but we are, continuing to evolve that. And this year was a
Seven?
fuel
Already
sign.
seven. Wow.
And seven's my lucky number, and that was this year. So if this is called a lucky year, I can't wait for 2021 to see what we can do. And it is really, it's a fantastic initiative, but I do know this, and this is what I have come to learn this year. And you are one of the reasons why this has been a great lesson, is we women need each other, because we need each other to support each other and lift each other up. But we need our counterparts, our males, and our everybody in our community to support us,
Right.
because together we can all achieve more success. So while I really believe in women's movement in the fitness industry, I do believe it's going to continue to evolve and embrace, gender equality as we move forward in these
Thank you.
movements.
Right, I agree. One of the things I learned this year is there's no more welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and our non binary guests. Because if we're
Yes.
going to be inclusive for all the things we've had to learn this year with social activism, that's one thing I put in. Even when I introduced myself as the whatever I did at the closing keynote or something, I did so much for you this year. Thank you for the work. I appreciated it. It was wonderful. Some of it I started in Puerto Rico, and then because you really spread out your convention, I was doing it on another country and another continent. That was so smart that you all spread that out that much. Thank you for inspiration and your sound bites of faith. Wendy is also, Wendy McCormick is giving you a shout out as well in the comments on Facebook. You'll go back and you'll see these. You're just loved by people around the world, and it's no surprise because I ask. And the wonderful thing is, because I ask a lot, you always say yes. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure, Lawrence. Love,
Thank you.
love your work, but more importantly, I love you.
Oh, healthy holidays. Bye, Mo.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.